from next week on you'll be working in the factory. That'll teach you to show others respect, and that's final. Get out of my office.
What? Daddy? You can't do that! Daddy, please!
Hey everyone, you're all doing a magnificent job. Looks like we'll be able to finish this project by next week, so let's take the rest of the day off and relax.
Yes, boss. We only managed to do it because we put all our strengths together. We'll manage that deadline with no problem.
Like, I know, why don't we go out to drink and make the most of the day off, man?
Yeah, that's a great idea. I don't have anything planned for this evening, so let's go. My name is Yasunari. I'm the CEO of MoniRobo Holdings Limited. I started to learn how to program when I was in school, and I used that talent to start up a business of my own when I was in the 4th year of college. I gained a lot of experience and renown as a young entrepreneur at the software development company I started up, and we've been recognized in the business world as a company with a lot of potential. 3 years since I started my business, and our profit has started to stabilize, and I think that we're on track to success. Most of the projects that we take on are based on building applications and websites for our customers. And last year, I was even able to hire some employees to help me with managing the larger long-term projects and help with surfacing projects I've completed in the past. We've got a great atmosphere in the office, and we all get along pretty well. I enjoy programming, but I also enjoy my job because I got these guys with me. There's just one thing that I've made a habit of doing every single day without fail: cleaning.
Good morning. Oh, hey, boss.
Hey, morning. You're all here early.
Boss, you got dust all over your shoes.
Huh? Oh yeah, probably because I was cleaning all the filters on the air conditioning this morning.
I still don't understand why you insist on doing all that cleaning by yourself.
Why make such a big deal out of it when you could just employ a cleaner to do it all for you? I'm not making a big deal out of it. I just want to do all the cleaning myself because I enjoy it. It's therapeutic. In the mornings, I work as a cleaner for the company, and I work like a CEO during the day. Well, I say I work as a cleaner, but it's not like I get paid to do it. It's just a hobby. My colleagues start work at 9 in the morning, and I aim to be at the company at 7:30 a.m. so I can get around the office, the lunchroom, the toilets, and make sure I do everything that is clean and tidy. I try and clean the ceiling regularly too, where dust and dirt becomes obvious, and then I check the air conditioning every now and then. There's a reason why I work so hard to keep the office clean, and why I want to do all the cleaning myself. I do the cleaning because a certain person that I look up to and endeavor to be like does the same thing. That person is the owner of a 5-star hotel that's renowned for cleanliness and comfort. He's written a book on how to be a successful businessman, and he's dedicated an entire chapter to cleaning. Apparently, he spends at least 1 hour cleaning every single day, and that's how he kept that habit most of his life. I wonder if I could be more like him if I followed the same example, and began cleaning every morning in the hope that I could gain some ground on him.
Yasunari! Yasunari!
Hey Satsu, good morning!
Yo, good morning, Yasunari. This is not the time for some carefree cleaning. I've got some crazy news. You gotta take a look at this, man.
Hey, wait, I'm not carefree. I'm cleaning carefully. I'm putting my heart and soul into it. What could be more important?
See for yourself, bro. Look at this email, quickly.
It was clear that Sato was panicking, so I went to take a look at the laptop screen that he had pointed at me. It's an email from a client. Don't tell me that we've got a complaint or something. What's the problem? They're not asking us for compensation, are they? Which project is this about?
No, bro, it's not a complaint. Read the email properly, bro. Look.
What? What? The email looked like any other ordinary email from a client, or so I thought, but on further inspection, I realized that the sender was a lot more familiar than I expected. It was an email from Kimura Motor Corporation, the biggest car manufacturer in the country.
Like, why do you think that Kimura Motor Corporation's emailing us? What do they want from us, man?
How should I know? What does it say?
It says that they want to set up a time for an appointment to talk through the project that they got planned.
Then tell them that we'd be delighted to. We can't say no to them.
Yeah, sure. Then I'll just respond to this email.
Hang on, let me reply to them. This is way too big. Leave it to me. 1 week later, I was sitting in a meeting room face-to-face with the representative from Kimura Motor Corporations. Kimura boasts a market capitalization of $300 billion, and this is the biggest car company in the world, if not the entire world. I wonder what kind of work an enormous company like that would have in mind for a startup company like mine.
Boss, the sales director from Kimura Motors is here. I've set up everything in the meeting room, too.
Perfect, I'll go and greet him. Welcome to MoniRobo Holdings Limited. Thank you for taking this time to come and visit us. My name is Yasunari. I'm the CEO of this company.
It's good to meet you. I'm the sales director at Kimura Motor Corporations. I'm looking forward to sharing the details of our products with you.
I can't wait to hear it. I've got a meeting room prepared too, so you can come this way.
Thank you very much.
Before we start, I'd just like to ask one thing. I'm very interested in the project that you've brought us, but I was wondering why you've chosen us and how can we help you?
Yes, well, the truth is, we here at Kimita Motors have been thinking about expanding our horizons and trying something new for a while. We want to start something that will help the community.
Interesting. What kind of idea did you come up with?
It's simple, car share.
Car share? So I'm guessing that you would like our company to help you in creating an accessible app that your customers can use to advertise and search for car share options? You'd probably need some tracking options and easy payment methods.
Exactly, that's why I'm here.
Understood. By the way, could I have an idea of the kind of coverage that you're thinking of, local or nationwide? And what other functions were you thinking of looking for?
Well, we're thinking about opening this car sharing service across the country, so we'll need some nationwide coverage. As for functions, we were hoping for something that will surpass the usability and convenience of all existing car share applications. We're looking for something simple in its usage and the design.
Simple and user-friendly, huh? Got it. I wouldn't expect any less from Kimita Motor Corporations. I can't help but be stunned by the scale of the project. I didn't have any other words to describe it, huh?
Thank you very much. It is our aim to keep our customers on the edge of our seats.
And last but not least, but what kind of budget are we looking for?
I was thinking we could go for about $300,000.
$300,000? Our company was a brand new startup. Despite taking a considerable number of projects the past few years, we had barely made it out of the nest. It was the first time I'd ever been offered such a generous fee.
Of course, we're betting our company's future in this project. I won't deny that our company is a major international business, but we are looking forward to the progress and growth that we are sure your company will make. Think of it as an early investment. We expect great things from you and your company.
It's Kimita Motors. I won't lie, I've been looking forward to the offer they might make, but I wasn't expecting them to offer this much as a fee. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. It was such an amount that I couldn't refuse. Understood. I'll be delighted to accept this job. We'll get started right away.
Thank you very much. Oh, and about the deadline for the project, we were thinking about a year would be adequate. What do you think?
Yes, a year sounds pretty good. I was thinking that it could be a long-term job, so I'm happy that we get that much time. It's our company's first time accepting a job of this degree, so I'd like to proceed with caution.
Of course, we're still open to discussion on the lengthening the time of the period. I'm looking forward to working with you, so please don't forget that we have high expectations from your company.
Just like that, we have signed the contract for the project, and Kimita Motors' representative was on his way.
Boss!
Yeah, we finally done it! The three of us huddled together and I clapped them both on the back. This was a result of the hard work and effort that we had put in up until now. We were gonna receive $300,000 as a reward for our applications. And that wasn't all. We were gonna be part of a major new project that Kimita Motors was undertaking. If we made a success out of this, then we'll be sure to gain more recognition from any other major companies, and we'll receive offers of a similar scale. I felt that this was the first project I'd felt so excited about in such a long time. No, it was probably the first job that had ever made me feel like this. We raised our spirits and urged each other on to build the greatest car share app and make a name for ourselves in the software development world. From that day on, the three of us put all of our energy into creating the foundations of the application and focused only on making improvements upon improvements. Everything looked like it was going perfectly well when…
Boss, there's a phone call from the sales director from Kimita Motors. He's asking to speak to you directly.
Yeah, sure. I instantly thought that it must be about how much progress we had made with the application, and kinda just wanted to check if we would need any more time or not. I had no way of knowing that Kimita Motors was going to demand something so ridiculous. Hello, this is Yasunari speaking. How can I help you?
Oh, Mr. Yasunari, I'm sorry to bother you at such a busy time.
Is something the matter? It was clear by the uncomfortable tone in his voice that the sales director did not have good news. By the time I realized that he would have emailed if it was just a regular progress report he was looking for, it was too late. I began to wonder if he'd gone out of his way to phone the office, and I couldn't help but tremble. I had a bad feeling about what he wanted to say.
Well, the truth is, how should I put this?
Sorry? I didn't hear that. Did you say something?
Mr. Yasunari, I phoned you today to talk about the payment that we offered in return for your work on creating your application. We would actually like to decrease the amount that we promised. Mr. Yasunari?
Decrease? By how much were you thinking?
$30,000.
Oh, 30,000? So you mean that you want to decrease our payment by 10%? I haven't got any problems with that. That's absolutely fine. So the total fee will come out to $270,000.
No, actually, I meant the other way around. We can only offer you $30,000 as payment for the application in total. Does that make sense?
What?
I'm very sorry about the sudden adjustment. The truth is, I've been ordered to decrease the external cost by a direct manager. We've had cuts made to all of the contracts that we're currently outsourcing.
Wait, you can't be serious. We were promised $30,000 when we signed on to the contract, and now you're telling us we'll only receive a portion of that?
I really am sincerely sorry.
I couldn't help but panic when I heard the changes that had been made to our payment. I ended up snapping and taking my frustration out on the sales director, but how could I stay calm? A $300,000 contract had been cut down to just $30,000? How could anyone take a hit like that without raising their voice? And what do you mean by direct manager? Who are you talking about? You gotta bring them here and they've got to explain why this is happening.
Yes, of course. I'll let them know that you would like to see them. How about next week? I'll get back to you later for the details.
Yeah, I'll be waiting.
Boss, are you okay?
What happened? You're really pale. Kimita Motor Corporation's just announced that they're cutting down our payment for the application project. I just got a little upset.
Yo, like they want to cut our payment? That's ridiculous. But we've already started on development, bro. How can they announce that at a time like this, man?
Yeah, by $30,000.
They're decreasing it by $30,000?
What? Just $30,000? Oh, you scared me. We never expected them to offer $300K to begin with, so like, what if they cut off a measly $30K? It's not a big deal. I didn't know that you were that stingy, Yasunari. Get over it.
It's not just, Sato. They're reducing our payment to $30,000. That's all we're getting.
What?
You're joking, right? They can't actually…
Nope, he sounded pretty serious to me. They really are gonna do it.
What? They're crazy. They can't do something like that. They can't.
Next week, the sales director was here the other month that's coming, along with his manager. They'll explain what's going on then, but I don't know if I can convince them to change their minds, so be prepared for the worst.
Right.
And let's take the rest of the afternoon off. We've been working with barely any rest for the past few weeks, and I don't feel like working any harder today. I've lost the motivation.
Boss?
Yasunari, I know it must be hard, but don't let it get to you, man. There must be a reason for all this, and we'll figure out a way through, man.
Yeah, thanks. I couldn't get my head straight for the rest of that day. It was as though my concentration had been cut with a pair of scissors. But Sato was right. The decision wasn't set in stone, and there was a probability that it could still be overturned. I couldn't work, but I urged myself to read through the contract that I'd signed with Kimita Motors and made sure to double-check all the small print, and that's when I found it. What is this? While I was reading through the contract, my eyes fell onto a section of the document that I hadn't read before. We reserve the right to make any changes to the payments and/or payment plan, regardless of what we've been discussing prior to signing this contract? You're kidding! The moment I read that clause, I felt like I was gonna have a panic attack, but this meant that responsibility fell entirely on me if we really did have to reduce the payment. It was my own fault for not reading the entire contract from front to back before signing it. I should have asked for more time or a few days to go through it. In reality, I had signed the contract on the day with the sales director that they had brought it. I was excited about the prospect of working with a project like Kimita Motors and about the unbelievable offer that had been made for our work. That's when I ended up signing it without much thought, or without even glancing at the conditions that had been set for the project. It was completely my own mistake. I cursed my own stupidity, and I thought about how I could face Okamoto and Sato and explain what I had done. I had lost all hope, and I ended up curling into a ball with my head in my hands. But after some thought, I realized that if they had added a clause like that into the contract, then that meant that they were planning on making a change to our payment anyway. Did they trick us on purpose? Did he promise a large sum with the intention of making me let my guard down? I couldn't believe it, and I didn't want to think that a business like Kimita Motors would be capable of such a thing. On the other hand, I shouldn't have really been so naive as to think that they would really not take advantage of us. I really was a hopeless idiot. However, it was too late to mourn about what had been done. I had already gone and signed the contract, so I had no choice but to accept what was to come. But would the situation turn in my favor? Could I really hope for luck at such a hopeless time like this? I couldn't fall asleep at all that night, and I had a difficult time waking up for the whole week after that. I didn't want to have to wake up and go to work, but it was already the day of the meeting with Kimita Motor Corporation. I had no choice but to face the music. I had no idea what was going to happen, and I felt like I was going to go insane from how tense and nervous I was. I couldn't eat, drink, or even stay still. Even so, I forced myself to get out of bed and head to the office. I arrived at 7:30 like I usually did, and I began my routine of cleaning the office. I focused only on moving my hands and getting everything clean as my thoughts wanted to wipe away the fear and worry about what was eating at my heart. I was cleaning like I never had before, and by the time Kimita Motors' sales director and manager was about to arrive, I was drenched in sweat and exhausted from all the hard labor.
Good morning. What the… boss?
Oh, hey Okamoto, what's up?
Wait, you weren't cleaning, were you? Did you forget that we're supposed to be having a meeting with Kimita Motors today?
I'm cleaning because we have a meeting with Kimita Motors today. There's a big difference. It's especially important for us to have a clean body and soul at times like these. Forget it. I'm just cleaning because I have no idea what else to do. I'm really nervous.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Hey, morning, Yasunari. Okamoto, let's do our best to win today, okay?
Hey, Sato, and what do you mean by win? It's not like we're gonna go and fight them in court or anything.
Yeah, but we can't take this line down. We gotta do something about it, man. Can you believe they would look down on us just because we're a startup company, man?
Yeah, I know. Let's just all calm down. We can't get worked up before they've even arrived. That's when.
Ugh, it's such a boring, tiny office.
Excuse me, who are you?
Excuse me? You look disgusting. Do you mind not talking to me when you're so dirty?
Sorry, I've just been cleaning.
Ugh, and you stink of sweat. Gross. I want you to stay 5 meters away from me. No, just don't enter my line of vision. End of.
What?
Miss Taiko, this guy's the CEO.
What? You're kidding, right? The stinky, dirty nobody?
No, I'm being serious.
This cleaner is the owner of the company? What kind of low-level business is he running?
Well, I don't know why he's dressed up like a cleaner, but when I first met him, he made a lot more effort to look the part. Though I could tell that he was a pathetic guy even then, I knew something was off about him from the beginning.
Who are these guys? This guy's the sales director that he brought the contract to us, but he's acting completely different than how he did that time. He wasn't this arrogant before. Besides, they're supposed to be arriving at 10 o'clock, and it's still 10 minutes before 9. They're way too early. I'm sorry. I thought that we were scheduled for 10 o'clock.
What? Why should I adjust my time to suit yours? You're just a nobody from a boring company that hasn't accomplished anything. I can come and go whenever I want because I'm better than you. You're the one that should adjust to my needs.
Well, I'm fine with whatever time you choose, but...
In the first place, I don't see why I have to come down here and explain why we've decreased our payment to you. You don't have any right to complain. But I came all this way because you were making a fuss. Be grateful.
Did you really think that I would just accept that crazy decrease without any question? Of course we would complain.
This is why startups are so annoying.
So what if we're a startup company? What difference does it make?
It's completely different. You startups don't have any money, so you whine and moan about not getting enough when you're getting what you deserve. You should just be thankful that you even have the chance to work with a company like ours.
And that's your excuse for making that reduction to our payment? We work because we get paid. That's only fair. We were offered an amount that we were happy with, and now we're not getting it, so why should we have to work just as hard for only 10% of the original amount? You're the ones being dishonest. Wait, boss?
Yasunari, bro, let's calm down for a minute, man.
You've got a lot of nerve talking to me like that. Do you even know who I am? You'll regret being so rude when you find out.
I don't know, but even if you are an employee at Kimita Motor Corporations, it doesn't give you the right to do whatever you want. You should be careful yourself.
Hey, do you seriously not know who she is? I'd shut up if I were you.
So what? Who is she?
I'll tell ya, she's Mr. Kimura's daughter.
What? Mr. Kimura? You mean like the chairman of Kimita Motor Corporations?
That's right. My daddy owns the entire business. But I'm not just his daughter. I'm a valuable employee. I'm worth a lot more than a miserable little CEO like you. I got here using my own strength, not my connections. And I'm the one that has been put in charge of this new business. The car share service that's going to be the future of our company. I'm in control of everything, and I'm not going to take no for an answer.
What? If you're so important, then what are you doing here? Your sales director hasn't said anything about that on the phone.
Well, I guess it's for experience. I only ever have contact with people who are super important, right? So I thought that it would be a good chance to come and see what it's like in a tiny, insignificant company like this, and talk with nobodies like you. Oh, before I forget, I've got an important meeting after this, so I've got to get going. Anyway, you're only getting $30,000, and that's that. Do you understand? You don't have a choice.
No, if you're only gonna pay us $30,000, then I'm afraid that I'll have to cancel our contract. I can't do this job.
I thought you'd try and say that. But too bad, you can't do that. You didn't read the contract properly, did you?
Well, that's not...
Take a good look, idiots. Can't you see this section right here? It says that once you sign the contract, you can't throw out the project until you've handed over the completed application. It says right here, and you signed it, and you said no. You can't say no to anything that we say.
If you do try and slack off, we'll demand compensation. You understand that you can't win against us in court, don't you?
She was right. My company didn't have the strength or the stability to stand up against a major corporation like Kimita Motors. Even if I did try and take the issue to court, I don't have the money to pay a good lawyer enough to take on the team of lawyers Kimita probably has on standby. I don't have anything. I'm guessing I'll probably receive $30,000, but it's better than nothing. And she's right about being lucky to work on a job with Mr. Kimita Motors. Just having our name on a corner of the application is enough to advertise our own company when it gets released as a service under Kimita's umbrella. It'll make getting jobs much smoother in the future. Understood. I'll do just as you say.
Then why didn't you just say that to begin with? See you later, stupid!
And just like that, the both of them were gone, and we were left stunned. That sales director, he completely changed his attitude because he had the chairman's daughter with him. That's what pisses me off the most.
Looks like everything's going to plan, Miss Tycho.
Of course. There's no way anyone can defy me. We're going to keep on cutting costs wherever possible. It's a good thing we made sure to insert small print in the contract.
That was a brilliant idea. Young businessmen like that idiot have probably never signed a contract with a company like ours. I expected him to get carried away and sign the contract on the spur of the moment, but I didn't think it would be that easy. He didn't even look at the rest of the document before signing.
You called for me, Chairman?
Yeah, I want a progress report on the project I left up to you. How are things going?
Everything's going perfectly well. You can count on me to do a good job, Daddy.
Really? I'm glad you think so, but there's just one thing that's bothering me. Do you think that you can show me any documents that you have, a contract or a plan layout?
Sure thing, Daddy. Just give me 1 minute. Here it is. Here's the presentation we prepared for the car share service.
Thanks, just let me look through it.
What do you think, Chairman?
Not bad, but what's this, Tycho? Explain yourself.
What? You mean the budget we set for the company we're outsourcing production of the application to?
Yeah, it says 30,000 here. Is that a typo? If not, then don't you think your calculations are a little too low?
Oh, that. You don't have to worry. The company we've hired is just a startup company, and I think that it's more than enough. They get to work with a major company like us, after all.
But this is the company that you've chosen to develop the application, isn't it? Judging by the plan, it looks like it's a pretty complicated and thorough design. Don't you think they deserve a little more for their work? Are you sure that it's enough to motivate them?
I told you it's fine. They've accepted the terms, and they're happy to have this chance.
They've accepted this? They took the job even after they heard that they would receive only this much? Really?
Yeah? What's the problem?
There's no problem if they're fine with it, but...
What are we supposed to do? Nothing is going right.
Like, yes and I, bro. Let's calm down for a second. We'll figure something out, man.
Calm down? Do you really think that I can calm down in a situation like this? I've told all our other regular customers that we cannot take any more jobs right now because we're busy with this project. And now look what happened. Who do they think they are?
Boss, it isn't like you to lose your patience like this. Let's take a break for an hour and get our thoughts together, okay?
Yeah, alright. Thanks. Who is it now? We're busy. What?
It's been a long time since we last spoke. This is Kimita, chairman of Kimita Motor Corporations.
Mr. Kimita, it's great to hear from you.
I believe that a representative from my company has already stated the talks about you about the car share application, and that you've already gone and started on a production. I hate to bother you when you're so busy, but I was wondering how things are going with my daughter, Tycho. Anything you would like to tell me?
Well, I hate to say this, but we've had some trouble agreeing on the fee that we're gonna receive for our work on this project. But I'm very grateful for the chance that I've been given to work with a company as renowned as yours, and I don't intend on throwing out this project when you've been so kind to me. You don't have to worry, sir. We're doing our best to complete the application as soon as possible.
You've had disagreements regarding the fee? What do you mean?
When we first signed the contract, we agreed to a fee of $300,000, but that changed just a couple of months later. Your daughter and the sales director suddenly announced that they wanted to decrease that fee to $30,000. We asked if it was possible that they could rethink the change, but they asserted that it was a legal change, and according to some small print in the contract, they wouldn't listen to us, so my team and I had no choice but to continue working on the application for the new amount they're offering.
So that's what actually happened. I'm very sorry for the trouble my employees have caused you. Please forgive their rudeness. I'll speak to Tycho. We're going to visit you tomorrow to apologize. I hope that you'll make some time for us.
Understood. We'll be waiting for you. I first met Mr. Kimita before I launched this business. I'm confident that I have the skill to change the world using programming. Please, would you invest your money in me? You won't regret it.
I can't see this idea of yours succeeding. I'm sorry, but I'll have to decline putting any money into it. I can't make that kind of risk.
Oh, is that so? Then
But I'm impressed in how passionate your presentation was. You might fail in this enterprise, but I'll make sure that you make it big if you keep on trying. When you do, I'll be happy to sign a contract with you and work on a project together. How would you be willing to shake hands on a contract when that time comes?
Yes, of course. When I was still in college, I appeared on a TV program called The Lion's Den, as part of my plan to make some money for a new business. The investors that took an interest in my business idea and helped me grow as a businessman was the chairman of Kimita Motor Corporation, Mr. Kimita. By the time I had finished filming, Mr. Kimita had grown pretty fond of me, and we exchanged phone numbers so that I would keep him updated on how my business was going. When we had received the email from Kimita Motors, I knew that it was because he recognized the success that I had built up since my time on The Lion's Den, and it was thanks to our meeting on that TV program. But I never expected that our contract would turn out like this. I was so shocked that Mr. Kimita was capable of doing something so sneaky, and I wondered if I had been too naive. But it turned out that Mr. Kimita didn't know what was going on because he had left everything to his daughter.
Chairman, is something the matter?
Tycho, I want you to tell me the truth. I hear that you've been making yourself trouble for the MoniRobo Holdings Company. What do you have to say for yourself, huh?
Trouble? What are you talking about? MoniRobo's just a startup company. What does it matter? They should be grateful that we're willing to collaborate with them. If they can't complain about any of the conditions, we put a contract with them. We're not causing trouble, we're helping them. This is a once-in-a-lifetime chance for them.
So you think that you're better than a startup company? You think that you can discriminate against them like that?
Chairman, do you really think that we can consider them equal to us? We're Kimita Motor Corporation. They're just a pathetic little startup.
Enough! Tomorrow I expect you to come with me so that you can go and apologize to the CEO of MoniRobo Holdings. Do you understand me, Tycho?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, hurry! Yo, like Yasunari, bro. Mr. Kimita's gonna be here in 10 minutes. You better hurry up and get changed, man. Boss, you gotta wear your suit. Quick, wear something appropriate. Hey, this uniform is just as important as my suit, you know. It's proof that I haven't forgotten what's really important. Despite everything that's been going on, I was still coming to the office earlier than everyone else to clean. But I couldn't deny that I've been cutting corners because of the stress that I'd accumulated from the disagreements that we'd been having with the sales director at Kimita Motors. I arrived at work at 7:30 as usual to find out that the windows were pretty dirty, and I panicked to get them all cleaned and ready for Mr. Kimita's arrival. Before I knew it, I had run out of time, and I only managed to finish just a few minutes before they were due to arrive. Boss, they're here! What are you gonna do? Seriously? I'm covered in filth!
You? How dare you snitch on me to my daddy like that? It's all your fault!
What? I turned around to find Taiko was standing behind me, holding the bucket that I had been using to wash the dirty rags that I'd been cleaning the windows with. And the next moment, what are you doing?
You're just the owner of a tiny, insignificant startup company. You're poor, dirty, and useless. You're just a rat. Don't get ahead of yourself.
I've had enough of you looking down on me like that. You're acting like a child. But I didn't have to say anything more.
Tycho, it looks like I failed you as a parent. I couldn't raise you to become a good person. I'm ashamed of you.
Oh, Daddy, I'm sorry. I just got a little too worked up. I didn't mean to go that far, I swear.
I made a grave mistake in believing that someone like you could do a good job of leading the car share project. I take complete responsibility. Yasunari, I'm sorry for my daughter's inexcusable behavior.
Oh, no, it's no problem. Please, you don't have to apologize.
It was too soon to entrust you with a project like this, Tycho. From tomorrow onwards, you're gonna work in the factory and learn what other real hard work is. Maybe then you'll understand not to look down on other people.
The factory? You're joking, Daddy. You can't make me do hard labor. Why should I work in a filthy place like that, with people who can't do anything else? I'm going to get all sweaty and covered in oil.
Don't you dare talk about the factory employees like that. You don't understand anything. Without the factory, we would be nothing. There's no such thing as an inferior job. My father got me started in the factory, and I have never regretted it. We wouldn't have gotten anywhere if there wasn't anyone working blood, sweat, and tears to keep this factory moving. We are at the top of the automobile industry because of all the people working in the factory and because they are good, hard-working people. We get to sit around at our desks thinking up plans for the future because someone else has taken on all the physical work for us. Why can't you understand that? We can't live the way we do without the factory.
Oh, I'm really sorry.
Yasunari doesn't want a pathetic apology like that. I'm gonna work you to the bone in the factory and you will change the way you think. Prepare yourself, Tycho.
After that, we were able to finish up our application and handed it over to Kimita Motors just in time for the original deadline. It didn't take long for Kimita Motors' car share service to gain a lot of good reviews, and the number of users grew in number by the hour. Boss, take a look at this article I found this morning. Huh? What is it? What? Seriously? The article that Okamoto had shown to me was one detailing how Taiko had been arrested by the police. Taiko was the daughter of a successful, well-known businessman, and was due to take over the Kimura Motors in the future. But the articles listed details on how she had been removed from her position of manager of the new venture Kimura Motors had been planning, and was demoted to a post in a factory on the countryside. But it seems like she couldn't take the tough work at the factory, and she ended up leaving the company completely, not long after she started working there. Apparently, Mr. Kimura was disappointed by her refusal to even try and work a full year in the factory, and he told her to never show her face in his company again. She had been disowned by her own successful father and lost everything in the process, and she made things worse for herself by entering a host club on a whim. She got drunk on the attention the hosts gave her and became addicted to visiting her favorite hosts every single day. She had been spending the savings she had left in her bank account on a host that she had fallen in love with, only to find out that he had a girlfriend and that everything he had just been saying to her was just because it was his job. Taiko had a breakdown and stormed the host's home, and ended up having a physical altercation that led to her being arrested by the police, who had been called by the host's girlfriend. Taiko was arrested on the grounds that she had been breaking and entering, and had attempted assault on both the man and the woman who were both in the house at the time. By the way, the sales director who'd been following Taiko around was let off with a punitive dismissal, and he was never seen at Kimura Motors ever again. And of course, we received the $300,000 that we had been promised in the beginning for producing the application. We were lucky that the chairman was a good person, and was willing to pay us what we deserved. And now, after making a successful application and making it easier for customers to car share in their neighborhoods or at trip destinations, our company is growing ever larger, and with more projects lined up for us, and at the moment, our goal is to go public and become a listed company.